Okay, so welcome back. This is just practicing. Hopefully you watched the last video over the notes where I gave you the couple of methods. Now sometimes it does work to what I would say combine the methods together a little bit according to how big your numbers are. And some of these numbers here are pretty big. So what I usually do is I will write across the top of my paper my perfect squares, just so that I keep track of what I'm doing and so forth. Up to 100 is probably good. But, and then the next thing that I do is I start going through those numbers and saying which one of those numbers will go into 392, okay? So I'm just going to take on my calculator, and you can do that. You don't have to do it out by hand. 392 divided by 4. Okay, I'm just going to start at the bottom. I don't ever do 1, of course. And 4 does go in there. So it is 4 and 98 left over. Okay? Now, I know 4 is a perfect square. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and write that as 2 square root of 98. Okay? But I know 98's not perfect yet. So I'm going to now see what will go into 98. So I'm going to divide 98 by 4. 98, and if you are mathematically inclined, you probably know where it needs to be at already, but if you just kind of go through and just start dividing 98 by 16, 98 by 25, 98 by 36, and actually 49 does go in there 2 times, so this is 49 and 2. So you see, I'm still doing a prime factorization. I'm just not doing the whole tree, and I know that the square root of 49 is 7. And so 2 times 7 is 14 square root of 2. Okay? Now, by all means, if you had wrote every one of these out that we had earlier, 169, 196, then you might have been able to kind of look through there and say, oh, well, you know, it looks to me like 196 will go in there. Okay? Which is the case. So we could have shortened this up and said, well, 2 will go in there and 196, okay? And so then that would be square root of 196 is 14 square root of 2, okay? And again, some of you may not need to do all this work. Some of you may be able to, as I said, kind of keep things in your head and do them a little easier. So I'm going to jump on down to number 3. And it is the square root of 27. Well, I know, 4, 9. I skipped 9 here. I know that 9 will go into 27. So 9 and 3. And I didn't even have to use my calculator for that one. And square root of 9 is 3. And that would be a negative 15 square root of 3. Okay? So I kind of ran through that one kind of quick for you. I'm just going to randomly do some of these. Let's go ahead and back up to 2, I guess. It's not too hard of a one. So again, 4, 4, 8. And right off, I look at it and I'm like, okay, I know 4 will go in there. That's a given. So that would be 1, 1, 2. Okay, that was without a calculator. And you can not do the square root bit of it, or you can. And let's see, 112, what'll go in there? 4 won't, 9 won't. Will 16 go into 112? Yes, it will 7 times. So 16 and 7. So the square root of 16 is 4, and 2 times 4 is 8 square root of 7. Okay? Now, here's the other thing about it. If you are doing one like 1 and 2, not 3 and 4, if you're doing one like 1 and 2 where there's not a number out in front, then you can always check yourself, because all you're going to do is take whatever's out in front and square it, times it by what's inside, and you better get your radicand, what's inside. Here, if I take 8 and square it, multiply it by 7, I better get 448, okay? And you could always do that as a problem and do that piece and then multiply it and make sure you've got it right. So there is a way to check yourself other than just the calculator. Number 4, when I look at it, what I see is 288, which is double 144. Whoops. So, and I always put my perfect square first if I can. Sometimes I mess up and I don't. So the square root of 144 is 12. And that would be 48 square root of 2. And again, you can't check it by doing 48 squared times 2. That won't work. But you could have done it here and checked it. Okay? So that is your perfect squares and how to then simplify them if they're not perfect squares. If you need more help, let me know, but as of now, that's all I'm going to do for you on this video, and then the next video we'll actually see it with one extra step to it.